You should be trying harder. You should be more present. You should be more available. You should be better at play. You should be better at feeding your children vegetables. You should have more energy. You should be kinder. You should be politer. I could go on all day. If you have a list of shoulds about how you're failing as a neurodivergent mum, this episode's for you. Today, we're going to be beating the voice of mum guilt that I lovingly call the critic. And this is the voice which sits inside us that finds fault in everything that we're doing in the here and now, and has a huge list of expectations and no issues in calling out where you fall short. Some people call it the mother-in-law. But joking aside, the critic is one of the most difficult voices of mum guilt to live with. Hi, I'm Freya, the neurodivergent brain and heart behind Mumshine, and I've created Mumshine Moments as a space where, in under 10 minutes, we look at things that make life hard for neurodivergent mums, that add to the huge load that we're carrying. And together we try out strategies, tools and techniques to find ways to maybe make life just a little bit lighter. So I'm working with mums with mum guilt. The critic is one that comes up a lot. I often joke around with clients that the idea of motherhood is that while you're expecting the baby, you write the list of all the things that you're never going to do. And then when they arrive, just gradually crossing those things off the list one by one. Sure, we make a joke out of it, but as we do it, it doesn't make it easier. For example, my child's not going to eat anything out of a pouch, do any screen time before the age of 2, and is only going to wear organic cotton fabrics. This might be said as they're running around the house back naked or in a synthetic nappy, eating yogurt from a pouch while watching the latest episode of The Wiggles or Bluey. Cross 3 off the list in one day. We all have those moments. And the critic isn't shy about calling out these areas that we fall short. There's always so many opportunities in the day where we're going to get it wrong, we're going to make a mistake, we're going to fail. Because life isn't perfect, life isn't neat, life isn't easy. And for many of us, when we've grown up our entire lives being told that our preferences are wrong or our needs are wrong, or having our behaviour mischaracterised and labelled, that part of our brain's really, really good at spotting all the ways that we're not doing it right. Because if we notice it first and we call it out, it's going to hurt less, right? Yeah, a bit more faulty logic from our brains trying to keep us safe. The reality is it hurts just as much whether it's coming from internally or whether it's coming from externally. It doesn't matter when we hear it. And the more that we do it, the easier it is for our brains to spot the patterns, the easier it is for our brains to criticise ourselves. And this is where the critic lives. Almost a lifetime of habit. So, how do we go about unwinding this? First is we notice when she shows up. And the really big clue was in the start of the intro. The critic often starts things with the words, I should, or you should. And should for me is always kind of like a really, really funny word, because it's something, there's a disconnect between expectation and action. And it's not motivation, because if it was motivation, it would be, I want to. So it's not that. It's not a gap between having to do something, because then it would be I need to or I have to if it was must. It's kind of like these optional extra things that we really don't want to do, that have come from some other place or time or part of our brain, or a time when data was different or life was different, and we carry them subconsciously. And then they sit with us and then they pop up. So the first thing we can look at is when I should come up. That voice is saying I should or you should. Whoa, that's a flag that the critic is in town. Nice to meet you. My critic's dressed a little bit like Judge Judy, and I do call her Judy whenever she shows up. And I encourage you to find a persona for yours. So cool, Judy's in the building, your critic is here. saying you should do something. Pause for a moment and go, why? And just be curious, not judgmental. Just be curious. That's a really interesting point. Love to know why I should be doing that. And understanding whose expectation is this that I'm holding. Is it actually mine to hold? Is my expectation perfection? And if it is, we can gradually just process acknowledging it. Going, is this still a valid expectation for me to be holding? If it is, great. You can convert it into a need to, or a have to, or a want to, or an I will. I don't have pretty boots, but I suspect that's about 1% of the time. So it's still sitting there as an I should, and actually this is another thing to be holding. We can acknowledge that and go, that's cool. That was an expectation of 2022 Freya. That was an expectation for actually any idea of how hard parenting would be. Whoa, that was an expectation from 1970s parenting. Whoa, that's how my grandma and my mum did it. And good for them. But it's not right for me. Oh, that's a great expectation for when I wake up in the morning and I have a full tank of petrol, like a full tank of glitter and energy. That's not an expectation for 10 p.m. at night when I've just spent 3 hours trying to get my child to sleep after a full work day. And we can choose to let it go. So notice the should. Be curious as to where it's coming from. Is this yours to carry and hold? And then practice letting it go. If you're having a hard time letting it go, I love this thing called the rule of fives. And it's a great little reminder. And it's a question to ask ourselves. How long am I going to remember this for? And if your executive functioning is as good as mine, chances are it won't be very long. But we ask ourselves, how long am I going to remember this for? 5 seconds, 5 minutes, 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months, 5 years, 5 decades. If it's anything under 5 years or 5 decades, that's cool. We can let it go. If 5 months feels too scary for you too, that's fine. You can just focus on the weeks below. But just going, how long am I really going to remember this for? And so much of our day-to-day, the day-to-day decisions we make, we agonise over, the things we beat ourselves up about, are things we literally won't even remember 15 minutes from now. When we're on to the next task that we need to do, the next thing in our day. If it is in those bigger areas and it's going to sit with you for a while, then talk to someone about it. That's actually okay to reach out for help, to go, I've got this expectation that I'm not meeting, and it's big and it's heavy and I'm worried it's going to sit with me for a long time. Like, what are some ways, what are some strategies, what are some tools we can use? How can we adjust this so it's more achievable? Might not be that perfect, so it might not be independent sleep every night or adherence to a strict iPad routine every day. And that's okay, but it's working about those ones as the exception, because you'll find most of it sits in the day-to-day of things that really don't matter over time. So there you go. A few different strategies to work with our critic and see how it shifts for you. I'd love to know your experiences with your critic, what she looks like for you, how she shows up, and how those techniques have supported you in the comments. If you do want a free tool to help look at your relationship with mum guilt, there's a mum guilt checker you can download on the Mumshine website by entering your email address. There's a freebie. Link in the comments. Next week, we're going to meet our final voice of mum guilt, the confessor, and understanding what's fueling her and a different way we can talk to her to help quieten the voice. Until then, stay sparkly.